Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to tonight's Zoom chat. My goodness, we have a lot of people joining us this evening, and I know that there are a lot more of you listening in to the recording. I apologize to those of you on the East Coast that it is 10 o'clock tonight, and I know that that's just a little bit too late for some of you. I was talking to you earlier today, but hopefully you'll get to hear the recording. As you know by now, we are Mick and Jenny Daly, National Marketing Directors in your support line in the beautiful mountains of Colorado, and I tell you, the weather at the moment here is absolutely beautiful. So warm, sunny days with cooler evenings, and fall, or autumn, as we say in England, is definitely in the air. So we're glad you could join us. We have lots to celebrate tonight. So let me kick this off by welcoming 3 new people to Team Eagles from Texas, California, and Colorado. Welcome Brian Jesko, sponsored by Brianna Krenwagi in Texas. In California, Erin Zymus, sponsored by Grace Sota. And in Colorado, Shona Hofmeister, sponsored by Tara Harris. So welcome to Team Eagles. We look forward to talking with you and would love to see you at the conference in St. Louis next month. So give that some serious thought. We have some promotions, and we love recognizing people for their success with this business. So first of all, congratulations, Kim Fellon in Arizona, sponsored by Nicole Helmstetler. Kim has completed her 2,000 plus fast track. So she will be receiving a check from the Juice Plus company for $250, as will her sponsor, Nicole. So I know you're both of you looking forward to that. And Kim also gets a promotion to virtual franchisee and also a free conference ticket, which is worth another $100. So congratulations, Kim. Look forward to meeting you. And Linda Miller in Delaware has just been promoted to sales coordinator. Linda was sponsored by Kristen Fry, who is in Phoenix, and Kristen is part of Nicole's team, Team Victory Through Love. So congratulations, Linda. Now, it's also a very interesting situation with Linda because we've been in close contact with her and Nicole as well. And in fact, I spoke to Linda today with Becky, one of her distributors. And I don't know whether Linda even knows this yet, Nicole, because you said, I think you hadn't told her yet, but I
Linda is on.
Linda is on.
Hi. Hi.
Hello, Linda. Well, I certainly have good news because you've been promoted to sales coordinator.
Woohoo!
That will be effective next month. So September is your qualifying month. It will be effective on October's business. However, you are so close to fast tracking to sales coordinator. So they promoted you based on, I don't like to use the word slow track because you certainly haven't done this, but the usual track, shall we say. You've got your 12,000 in volume, you've got your structure, and so you are a sales coordinator. However, the company has also said that if you go ahead and fulfill the requirements for the fast track to sales coordinator, you will also receive your $500 bonus, as will Nicole.
Oh, yay! It's a good thing there's no camera on my computer because I'm doing the dance and it doesn't look good.
Thank
you.
Look at my notes here. Where are you?
You can't see me. My camera doesn't work on my laptop.
Oh, okay.
So.
I can hear you. That's okay. Anyway, we're excited for you. Wonderful. Good job.
Thank you.
We also have a first-time qualifier on our team from last month, and that's Becky Wright, whom you sponsored, Linda, right? So
yes.
Becky is now qualified for her 5% performance bonus, one qualifier closer to that illustrious 75 club that we are striving to get Team Eagles into. So
great.
Everyone is one position closer. All right, I think that's it from me, Mick. Why don't you take it over from there?
Okay, thank you, Jenny. And on that note, the leaderboard in our contest, Road St. Louis contest, should be no surprise to anyone because many of the names that you heard mentioned are there. And right now, our leaderboard comprises Sarah Stanwood, Rachel Harries, Lisa Kerr, Cheryl Lawrence, Judy Brown, Blue Russ, Grace Soter, Dr. Janet Taylor, Tara Harris, and leading the way, no surprise, Nicole Helmstetler with 640 points. We are only just over 2 weeks through the month, so there's plenty of time for the rest of you to step up to the challenge. Don't let Nicole run away with it, folks. But it's lovely that Nicole is heading up the leaderboard tonight, because tonight the spotlight is focused on you, Nicole. Now, don't worry. I know you don't like to be in the spotlight, but you really can't help it, can you? So I need to unmute Nicole. And Nicole, why don't I begin?
Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome. Uh-oh.
Oh, what? Okay. Why don't I begin by mentioning two things. First of all, just an hour or so ago, I forwarded a Vox to our Team Eagles Voxer group by a short message by Mel Simon, who is a sales coordinator here in Colorado. And Mel was talking about the difference that it made inviting people to a recent event in Boulder, Colorado, by deciding she would have a different attitude, a different posture. She admitted that previously she's been very almost apologetic inviting people, not wanting to pressure people. And she suddenly realized this won't do. Huge background noise. I'm not sure where that's coming from.
It's me. I'm sorry. I'm outside. I'll mute myself.
Okay. All right. No worries. She decided to take a different stance, different posture, Mel, and realized that what we have to offer, what she had to offer people by inviting them to a big event featuring a doctor, was priceless. It was something that everyone needs, because those same people she invites they and their families could benefit in exactly the same way that she and her family had from Juice Plus. And then this morning I posted a little piece in our Facebook group about what was it called? The planting season. The planting season. And the main emphasis of that little piece was that when a new person joins our Juice Plus team and when they get started, they are in the planting season where they have to do a lot of work before they see results. But as I commented in that piece in that Facebook group, the planting season isn't limited to the first few months that you're in this business. The planting season repeats over and over, because if we're not sowing seeds, if we're not tending and watering and feeding those seeds, then our business simply won't grow. It's a law of nature. It's a law of Juice Plus in more ways than one. So with that intro, let me ask Nicole, who has been in an intense planting season for this last month. Take us back, Nicole, to when you sat in the room at Stacey Joy's training.
Okay, so I went to a training, and I can't remember what it was. I think it was a Super Saturday, and Stacey Joy talked about her method of butts and seats. And she showed us the numbers. She had a list of like 70 people and how it dwindled down, but she got quite a few people actually there. And she had this method. And so I was like, I had been spinning my wheels, inviting to smaller events, but was getting overwhelmed. And then when Dr. Sears was coming, I was like, this is huge. I had seen his talk before, so I knew how valuable it was. So I decided to go all in on this one. And that's her number one, her first step is decide that you're all in. And you don't do that on all events. You just do it on the big ones, the ones that you decide you're going to do. And then...
Can I interrupt you there?
Yeah.
So I should have mentioned that Mel Simon managed to get 23 guests to her event in Boulder just recently. So that was huge. Now, Nicole, when you decided to go all in, I know the answer to this because we've talked about this on recent coaching calls. You resisted my attempts to make you set a goal.
Yeah. Yeah, you wanted me to set a goal for customers and distributors. And for me, that was, it was too much. I had too much. It didn't feel right for me. For me, what mattered was my only job was to let as many people know that he was coming. And they got to choose what they wanted with this information. I didn't care whether or not they came. If they came, great. If not, it's no skin off my back. It's only their loss. As long as I got the information to them, I'd done my job. And so I started by 4 weeks ahead of time. I followed her plan. And she says to begin, she said 3 weeks early. I started 4 weeks early by sending save the dates. And so I sent out as many save the dates as I could within that 3 and 4 week ahead of time. And then at 2 weeks, I stopped sending save the dates and started sending invites, first to those save the date people, and then to more people who I didn't happen to get a save the date to.
What was the verbiage in your save the date?
My save the date was, let me find it, excuse me. So the save the date, what I said was, hey, I just wanted to really quick let you know that Dr. Sears is coming to Scottsdale to talk about brain health for all ages on Friday, 9/16. I'll have more information soon, but since this is such an important topic and one that affects everyone, I wanted to make sure I let you know about it well enough in advance so you could mark your calendar and save the date with a smiley face. It was mostly through text and email and Facebook.
And you got good response, didn't you?
I did. From the save the date people, let's see, from the save the date people, I had right off the bat, I think I had 11 say yes. Right. So yeah, so it was pretty good. I definitely found that saving the date, I got more response, more yeses than the ones that I just sent invites to.
Okay, so backing up again,
Okay.
how many names did you have on your complete Trello list?
Well, I have close to like a little over 300, but some of them are out of state. And so that disqualified them from being invited. So totaling.
That's basically your entire memory jogger.
Yeah.
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 Which you
So
have in Trello.
yeah, I have everything in Trello, and Trello made it so easy to keep track of. And I mean, it just like, this was the easiest job I've done. And I really believe that a big part of it was Trello and having everything organized in lists, because normally I'd have to write things down, and if I'd make notes and like cross out, and it just got all messy. And in Trello, I was able to.
You can show us your Trello in a minute, but jumping to the day before the event, and we'll come back. How many people had you actually spoken to, live or on a phone, out of the total number you invited?
The total number I invited was 232.
And how many people had you actually spoken to using your voice?
Using my voice? Gosh, I don't have that number.
I mean, that's a revolutionary idea, to actually speak to people, I know.
I mean, I would speak to people, like some of the invites, I didn't keep track of the difference.
But my feeling is that you didn't actually speak to that many people. Most of it was Facebook, text, email.
Yeah, most of it was. And when I'd see people that are in my everyday life, I'd remind them and be like, you're coming, right? Like, you can't wait, and it was part of everyday conversation, but that was only with a handful of people. It wasn't.
I stress that only because everybody listening to this, I can see Ginny up on my screen now, and Lisa, and they will admit that your approach is completely opposite to what we've always preached. We've always said, call, send, call. Call. We've said, don't send an email inviting people. Don't text them inviting people. Call them or speak to them in person. Okay.
I did also.
Forget all that. Just listen to Nicole, because she has it down. Okay, let's go back.
I did also, for all my customers, I sent out an actual send out card, save the date. So I sent a physical card that had the information on there, said, put this on your calendar, put this up on your fridge. I don't know how beneficial that was, but I think it's a nice gesture for those people who are already customers. Just so that, it's another nice, everyone loves to get mail, especially pretty mail. But out of the 232 that I invited, only 107 gave me no response.
So 120 plus did respond.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, continue.
Well, so then at 2 weeks I started inviting. So I had a different invitation depending on whether I sent them a save the date, what their response was to the save the date and whatnot. So, if they were really interested and had said yes to the save the date, I had an invite that was like, I said, so here it is, the info about Dr. Sears on 9/16. I'm so excited to hear him talk about brain health. I hope you can join me. If I get you a ticket, in parentheses, or as many tickets as you want, would you come? And then I included the flyer, and that was it. And for people who had said maybe, I sent something, the same thing. And the people who had not responded to this save the date, the people who had not responded, I sent something a little different. And I can't find that list. Oh, here it is. I sent something, I'm not sure if you're interested or not, but I finally got the information about Dr. Sears on the 16th, and I wanted to make sure I shared it with you. I'm so excited to hear him talk about brain health more. I heard him speak in February, and what I learned absolutely blew my mind. I just feel like I can't not share this opportunity with everyone I know. Anyway, I hope you can join me. If I get you a ticket or as many tickets as you want, would you come? So that's what I sent. That's the invitation I sent to those I had sent a save the date. And then the people who I didn't send a save the date to, I just sent similar to the save the date. I said, hey, how are you? I wanted to reach out because Dr. Sears is coming. It's such an important topic and one that affects everyone. So I wanted to make sure I send you an invitation. And I talked about how I heard him speak in February. And then again, I asked, if I get you a free ticket or as many as you want, would you come? So I had different verbiage, but mostly it was the same. I did personalize it to each person, but it was fairly simple, and yeah. So, and then after the invites were sent, I had people, I guess, should I show you, here, I'll share my screen real quick and show you my columns. So I had people in different columns. So if I sent them the invite, if they said yes to the invite, I put them here. If they said maybe, I put them here. If I got no response, I put them here. And then I had a column for no's as well. And so people who said yes, I did a 1 week tap. People who said maybe, I did a 1 week tap. And then people who said, who didn't respond at all to the invite, I sent a 1 week tap as well.
Tell us what the 1 week tap looks like.
So the 1 week tap was, I just said, hey, I'm so excited. Well, that's not it. Hang on. That's the 1 day. The 1 week tap, so I had a different one for each one. So the people who said yes, I said, I'm sitting here thinking about next Friday, and I cannot wait to see you and Dr. Sears. I'll touch base the day before to confirm how many tickets and seats I need to save for you. I hope you're having a wonderful day and that you have a great weekend, because I did them all on Friday, the Friday before Dr. Sears. So that's what I sent out to my yeses and maybes. And, I didn't send a 1 week tap to my no responses and no's, obviously. So those I sent to yeses and maybes. And then after the 1 week tap, I got some responses. I didn't get a lot of responses. And I think that's okay, because there was no call to action for that 1 week tap. It was more just of a reminder for them. And then then I had a 1 day tap, what I did on Thursday the night before. And what I did was I said, I'm excited for tomorrow. You're coming, right? Early bird gets the worm and really good seats. I gave them the information. I gave them the address. I said to please text me when they get there so that I could come and get them. And I can't wait to see you. It's going to be so good. And as of Thursday night, I had 23 confirmed plus of my own plus 14 confirmed, actually 20 confirmed of guests of my team. And so I include those in my numbers because I was the one that got my team to come, and so I was saving seats for everybody because my team isn't necessarily working the business, and I wasn't anticipating them bringing guests, but because I wanted them to come and be there and they were bringing guests, I said I'd save seats. So total there, confirmed before, I had 37 people confirmed. No, 41 people, 40 people confirmed. And then I had 3 last-minute cancels and 3 of my own and 3 last-minute cancels of guests of my distributors.
So come Friday night.
Come Friday night.
You were driving with John, hubby John, to the event early, very, very early.
Yeah.
And you filmed a live video.
Yeah.
Which also went out on Facebook, which was really cool. And you saved like 36 seats or whatever?
Yeah, 36 seats. And
by the way, before we go there, on Friday morning when we had our Zoom coach, you said you had 34 confirmed, but you had 36 promising no's.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
What are those?
So promising no's are people who said they couldn't come because they had something going on, but they really wish they could be there. Or, let me know what he says. I can't make it, but I'd like to know. So I have actually, those were promising no's from the save the dates and the invites. But I have additional promising no's from the 1 week tap and the 1 day tap. So all totaling, I have almost 45. I have 45 promising no's. So I have people that I plan to follow up with and send the information from Dr. Sears.
That's the point. So even before the event, you knew that you had close to 80 people to follow up with.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
Fantastic. I feel like I've worked for a while. So
yeah, I told you Friday morning. This sets you up with a lot of work to do for the next 3 months.
Yeah. So I feel a little overwhelmed today because I had wanted to follow up with the promising no's first. And I didn't get a chance to today.
But I know you won't drop that ball. That's okay. Okay, so tell us what you learned at the event itself. How many of those 30 whatever came?
All of them, except for...
All of them.
Yeah.
They all came.
Yeah.
Nicole, you don't understand how remarkable that is. That never happens.
Yeah, everyone who was confirmed came. I did have 3 people call me Friday or text me Friday and say they were canceling, but I didn't have any no-shows like that I didn't know about. So I had all 34 people were there. What I learned, though, is that I will change the verbiage of my 1 day tap, and I will say, I will say, I'll be happy. Early bird gets the worm and really good seats. I'll be able to save you seats until 6:45, but after that, I'll have to give them up. So,
yeah, because
it was so stressful trying to save seats, especially for Dr. Sears. There were over 600 people come, and they were like, "Okay, those of you saving seats, you need to go." And I had people literally in the parking lot coming, and I was like, "I can't give these seats up. They're right here, But they're getting there last minute, and I'm like sweating and I use my all natural deodorant. I'm like sweating. At least I smelled okay. But I was just like, oh my gosh, I can't do this again. Like,
So we know what the ninjas are. That's Jake Kelly's team. They're known as the ninjas. Mm-hmm. You are officially our first Team Eagles ninja.
What does that mean?
I can just see you protecting those seats.
Oh my gosh. I was like, well, and John, bless his heart, he was amazing. He was like hopping around seat to seat. Like if people were eyeing his seats, he'd go and sit down and
okay, let's jump ahead now. Okay. The event itself, obviously it was great.
It was amazing.
Just tell us a couple of feedback items you've had so far.
From the event?
From people, from those 30 odd people who were there.
They were floored, just like I was. I had one person tell me, we need to talk. I need to get an order in. A lot of them were like, how do I get a hold of that DVD that he talked about? Because he mentioned his Primetime Health DVD. And the DVDs are sold out, but we have the benefit of teamjp.net. And I will be sending the link to people, which I think is helpful. I think it's easier for people because who wants to pop a DVD in? They'd rather just watch it on their phone or whatever. So,
okay. So you have a good 3 months of work to do. Mm-hmm. Your harvest will take a lot of effort, but you've got a ton of people to follow up with. So we know you're going to see great results.
Yeah.
What advice would you give to the rest of us mere mortals who have listened to you tonight and went, wait a minute. Okay. First of all, how much did you have a life this last month?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was really easy. I mean, it wasn't like I was spending hours at a time, it's saying just a little bit to a lot of people. And so I said the same thing to every person. I didn't change it very much, but hey, John, hey, Frank, hey, whoever, my verbiage, I came up with a verbiage that I felt sounded like me that I would say to everybody. And so it was very simple. It was a lot of copying and pasting and having it in Trello and being able to drag and drop people from one column to the next rather than having a list that was all over the place made a huge difference. It made it really simple and easy to track and maintain to where I wasn't feeling overwhelmed. I mean, that's a lot of people to reach out to.
So I want to stress two things. What you just said.
Okay.
You were very careful about your verbiage, making sure that the people who received your Facebook message, your text, your email, knew it was you. Mm-hmm. That is so crucial. And when you read those to us with all that passion and enthusiasm, we knew it was you too, just now. But the other thing is, I said a little bit to a lot of people.
Yeah.
I said a little bit to a lot of people.
I heard that somewhere.
Oh, you did hear that somewhere. Say less to more. And those two things are the key. Plus your commitment, your determination to get it done. So, again, what would you say to the rest of us mere mortals as to whether we should try to do what you've done?
Well, I think the big thing is mindset and how you think of it. And if you're too invested in the outcome, it's not going to go well for you. You're going to be too stressed. You're going to be upset when people say no. You've got to let go of the outcome. And if you're going to hold on to it and make people feel bad because they can't go, they're going to be, they're going to know. They're going to respond to that. So I made sure every person who said no, I totally understand. That's no problem whatsoever. Thank you so much for getting back to me and letting me know. Because I don't care whether or not they come. It's not on me. It's on them. And, being able to let that go and not feel the pressure to get them there was such a load off. And I think that's a big part of why it was so easy, because I wasn't hung up on the people that said no. I just focused on the ones that said yes and maybe.
But you also started out with over 200 people you were inviting.
Yeah.
That itself takes a lot of pressure off. You can handle a lot of no's.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Okay. I'm going to unmute and invite anybody to ask you anything, and also to say, jolly well done, Nicole.
Well, I don't have a question, but it does remind me of the phrase that massive action produces massive results. And I know, Nicole, you're already beginning to see the results of this, but truly, this is going to spur you forward to senior sales coordinator very quickly. So congratulations. So proud of you.
Thank you.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
How did you take care of all those people?
All
They were
34.
there the night of the event.
That was hard. What I did, Jenny, I've been having coaching calls, and she suggested having a handwritten card for each guest. And so what I did is I had a handwritten card, and I said, I'll tell you what I said, because I made a note in every person. I said, thank you so much for coming. I know you're going to love hearing from Dr. Sears. I'm sorry if I'm unable to give you as much attention as I'd like, as I have so many guests here. If we don't get to chat afterwards, let's touch base in the next couple of days. And then I, of course, salutation, whatever. But I had a handwritten card for each person. I also had some notepads and pens on seats so that people could take notes. I would not recommend doing that unless you got 17-cent notepads like I did, because I didn't get a single one back like I had anticipated. So, and that's fine. But I greeted everybody that came in. I tried to get to the front, and I walked them in, and I connected them with other guests. I was like, hey, this is my friend so-and-so. This is my friend so-and-so, who was sitting next to each other. Some of those guests, 14 of those were guests of distributors. So I let my distributors take care of those guests. I didn't deal with them. I just dealt with my distributors and my guests. So I had a card for each of my distributors who came, because a lot of my distributors are not really working their business, but I wanted them there for education, and so that, because they need to hear Dr. Sears too. He's freaking amazing.
Okay, somebody else ask a question. Okay, Amanda, you were there. What was it like?
Oh, I'm off. Okay.
Yeah.
It was, I had a lot of guests planned for myself and my team. And I too saved 3 rows of seats. And it's stressful. So I really liked what Nicole said about, you need to get there. The doors open at 6:30. We'll save you seats until 6:45, because there was a lot of pressure to get up those seats, and a lot of people showed up right at the very end. So I think, planning wise would have been better, but it was incredible. Orange Tree said they pulled every chair in the entire resort into that room. They had the outside chairs in, they had, comfy chairs in there. It was just packed. And I had a doctor come, and then I had some customers come, and a whole bunch of distributors with their friends and stuff. And Dr. Sears, he just has a huge pull with, parents. He's very, very well known. So it was a great event. And
okay, so here's my last question for the two of you.
all in.
My last question for the two of you before we close this out is, we can't all have the benefit and blessing of Dr. Bill Sears coming to town, and you won't see him now for another year or two. So how much of your system, Nicole, and how much of how you got the people there, Amanda, will apply to a smaller event with someone with less magnetic pull than Dr. Bill Sears?
I plan on still doing the same thing and just learning the value of the speaker. That's something that Stacey talked about. She said, where did she say it? Know the value of your speaker and determine your target audience. So, look up YouTube videos, study the person who's coming so that you know who would benefit from coming. And, it's probably not going to be as easy because, everybody knows Dr. Sears. But, if you know the value of your speaker, you can adjust your verbiage to make it appear and show the value in it. if you know the value, you can show the value.
Yeah, so that's in line with what we've preached and taught for many, many years. Don't sell Juice Plus. Don't sell the event. Sell the speaker. If we promote the speaker really well, and if we use a system like yours, Nicole, we'll get some great results. Okay, anyone got a last question before we close this out?
Not a question, but congratulations, Nicole. Fantastic effort.
Thank you, Janet.
I wanted to say the same thing. I mean, I've been doing this a long time. I've never had 34 people at one event. So, yeah, really, really impressed with what you've done, Nicole.
Thank you, Rachel.
Yeah, we're all impressed, Nicole, and inspired too. We're just thankful for you and everything else. And those of us who are prayers, we will join you in prayer that you make Senior Sales Coordinator by the St. Louis Conference.
Yeah, I need to do it by the end of this month. So
Yep.
You will.
Go for it. And please think about teaching us how to work with Trello.
Yes.
okay,
Yes.
I'll work on a as soon as I can get my follow-ups done. I'll definitely work on a Trello training similar to what I did before, but for the event specifically.
That'll be awesome.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
All right. Once again, thanks to everybody, and thank you, Nicole, and thanks, Amanda, and thanks, congratulations to all, and we'll talk to you really soon. Meanwhile, let's be infected with Nicole's attitude. That will take us a long way, girl.
And one last reminder, if you haven't already bought your conference ticket, the last day to get the $50 off is, I think,
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
first. Yes.
Wednesday. Yep.
Don't miss the boat. We will see you in St. Louis.
Yeah, we will. Bye,
Okay.
everybody.